Hi everyone, it's me again, and Squish Gang is present. And today we are going to be talking about one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard of, and a ridiculous culture war from the conservatives. And I feel like I say that all the time because the bar just keeps ending up further in hell. So it turns out that the Daily Wire has been running ads on my videos for Jeremy's chocolate. Now we're going to go into a bit more about what Jeremy's chocolate is later in this video, because if Daily Wire is going to cut me a check, they're really going to cut me a check, you know what I'm saying? So the transphobic Jeremy's chocolates is what we're going to be talking about today, which are a direct response to the Her for She Hershey's campaign that was released in Canada only. And because I am Canadian, I have a Her for She Hershey's bar. We'll talk about this a bit more later, but first, links, sources, ways to support the channel, including Patreon, all linked down below, along with any sort of socials affiliate links, things like that, including all of the makeup that I'm wearing on my face today. This is all, a lot of this is PR from Gerard Cosmetics. Thank you so much. I think we're gonna have a code soon. If I find out before I've done editing this, I will put it on screen. If not, I'll do it later. But I also want to announce that I have set up YouTube memberships, and I'm just waiting for the approval right now. There's going to be 2 levels. There's going to be Squish Gang for $2.99 US and Super Squish Gang for $5.99 US. All of this is going to do, the difference between the 2 perks is that the $5.99 one will get some exclusive polls for selecting videos. Just if you wanted some sort of extra support for the channel. And the $2.99 is the same as the Patreon. So members only videos once in a while, and early access when I don't have like sponsors and stuff that have to be approved and released in a certain way. So that's that for this kind of shilling part. But yeah, thank you to all those who support the channel. Thank you to my current patrons. Names on the screen. And then what I'll do when there's YouTube members is it says thanks to my patrons, as it says there, it will have another credit that will come after. That will just say thank you to my YouTube members, and then we'll keep going. Alrighty, tidy. So parts of the video, there's going to be 3 parts, as there often is. Part 1, reading the articles announcing the chocolate. Part 2, looking deeper into the reasoning. And Part 3, the conservative freedom fallacy. Let's get right into it. So Part 1, reading the article. So I have a hypothetical, allegedly, can't speak English at all for some reason, in Minecraft thing that Google search is being inflated by Daily Wire pumping out, like, I swear to God, an article every few hours. I think it's so when you look up the chocolates on the Google search, there will be more recent articles written by Daily Wire themselves so they can control the narrative a little bit. That's hypothetical, allegedly in Minecraft. So we're going to go through the first article, which is called Nut or Nutless. The Daily Wire launches Jeremy's chocolates after Hershey's trans farce insults customers. I don't think you really notice the difference between these and any other cookies and cream besides the fact that there's like a lady on them. But, you know, people like to get, the people that say people get mad about everything sure do get mad about everything. So this article was released on March 3rd. What can a chocoholic do when he or she finds out Big Chocolate hates them? That's the first line of the article. That is where the article starts. Who said they hated them? How is putting a wrapper with a woman on it hating them? Who knows? I don't see where those 2 things correlate. But okay. Hershey's chose the first day of Women's History Month to insult all women and rational men by interesting that they didn't put rational men and women. They put women and rational men. Anyways. By introducing a gender dysphoric man who claims to be female as one of the faces of its commemorative she bar. It even rolled out social media ad with Faye Johnstone gushing about how she, in quotation marks, and other women are changing how we see the future. It was too much for Daily Wire co-founder Jeremy Boring, lol, who has built a reputation for taking on woke companies and offering alternatives to their insulted customers. Huh? It was too much for the Daily Wire co-founder Jeremy Boring, who has built a reputation on woke companies offering alternatives to their insulted customers. Okay. This is written badly, sorry. Already a razor magnet and soon-to-be producer of wholesome children's content, I think children's content that's going to have its main purpose of directly marginalizing people, I would not necessarily consider wholesome, but okay. Boring is now a chocolatier after a deluge of Twitter users appealed to him to offer another choice. Fine, Boring tweeted early Friday. I'll do it. Introducing Jeremy's chocolate. Yes, it's real. We have two kinds. He, him, and she, her. One of them has nuts. If you need me to tell you which one, keep buying Hershey's. Now folks don't have to give up chocolate just because Hershey's has given up on America. Okay, hold up. There's two problems with this. This is a Hershey's Canada campaign. It says it on the website. And also, you see that? Imported by Hershey's Canada Inc. So, Hershey's Canada did give up on America because it's Canada. Jeremy's chocolate is available for pre-order in both varieties at IHateHersheys.com. I wonder if that can be, like, I feel like legally that's a little dicey. I wonder. Anyways, the people asked and we answered, Boring said. Thanks to Jeremy's chocolate, you can stop eating chocolate that hates you. Harry's Razors hates you. Disney hates you. And now Hershey's hates you. As long as corporations and institutions across America continue to alienate half the country, the Daily Wire will continue building alternatives. Stop giving your money to woke chocolate companies that hate you. Take a shot every time the word hate is written in there. Very awesome. The only thing that you hate is trans people, and you're freaking out about someone's face being on a wrapper, and you just fixated on this particular campaign that's only across seemingly one set of chocolate on top of that and from a different country, but okay. The thing is that just because half the country voted Republican, that doesn't necessarily equate to half the country of the United States being transphobic, being hateful, and being deranged like the people of Daily Wire. Now, with this in mind, another thing I would like to point out is that Hershey's expands far beyond the United States of America, and the world expands far beyond the United States of America. So to say that the companies hate you because of certain American values that do not necessarily represent themselves in the rest of the world is fallacious in and of itself. But I think that we were not to be shocked of that being the reality coming from Daily Wire's chocolate campaign. But I just want to throw that out there. In January 2021, the Daily Wire signed Gina Carano to produce and star in Terror on the Prairie after she was fired from Disney. In March 2022, the company launched Jeremy's Razors, which sold 100,000 subscriptions in its first year, after Harry's Razors pulled its ad from the Daily Wire citing values misalignment. And in the same month, it announced a $100 million investment into kids' entertainment after leaked videos from inside Disney revealed a producer bragging about their not-so-secret gay agenda. The thing is there's no citations for anything. There's no proof to anything except for the only things that are actually linked and shown are tweets of Jeremy announcing the chocolate. So a lot of credible journalism things, regardless of what side, quote-unquote, you would be on, are not present. The website is linked. The only things that are being linked are things that are being sold. So, we're out here for the grift. Because what's this gay agenda thing? Where did that come from? What's your proof that Hershey's is hating people for the launch of these bars? Yeah, there's just a lot of issues with that. So, who's surprised? And then after that point, they just kept releasing articles every 12 hours of wow, they sold this many bars in such a short period of time. So there was one later that was Jeremy's chocolate sells more than 300,000 chocolate bars in just over 36 hours. That was within the next day. And then it's essentially the exact same article, just with sales numbers at the end. And then a couple of pictures of where the ads are. So, and they kept pumping out these articles. Again, that's why I think, hypothetically, allegedly, in Minecraft, that a lot of it was to kind of boost the Google search results for it. Like I said, because it is very suspicious when articles are churned out so quickly, especially as a news corporation that is attempting to make themselves, seem like they're legitimate. And I think the only claims they can ever have to legitimacy is how much they're able to sell or how much people watch it. But popularity doesn't mean accuracy, right? A lot of silly things that are just for entertainment's sake, think like Keeping Up with the Kardashians and Jersey Shore, is everything they say accurate just because a lot of people watch it? A lot of people spent money on products that they had or anything like that? No, that's not how that really works. So a lot of people are complaining because these chocolate bars are super expensive. They're something like $6, $7 a piece, and then you have to pay for shipping on top of them. I will review the Jeremy's chocolate if this video gets 50,000 views or higher. I will review the chocolate. I don't know if they ship to Canada or not. What I can do is if they don't, I can get someone to send them to me. Let me see. Yeah, a 4-pack for $24.99 US. Unwoke your inbox. Be for real. Pre-order. Oh, so they're sold out already. Why does it say pre-order or buy with shop pay? Estimated shipping date, 5/15/23. Some chocolate companies don't even know what a woman is, but we do. Indulge in the chocolate binary. One with nuts, one without. You know which is which. This is the same thing as like, this really gives the same vibe of, what's her name? Blair White's like, if you have a gun, if you see a gun in, no. If you see a bulge in a conservative woman's pants, it's a gun. If you see a bulge in a Democrat's pants, it's a penis or something. Despite the fact that the bulge in her pants is a penis. Because she said that she hasn't gotten bottom surgery, and like, it's kind of, ugh, God, just the way they say things is just so stupid and petty. Like, it's just a bunch of people who like peaked in high school. But yeah, point is, besties, if y'all get this video to 50,000 views, I will buy the chocolate. But only then, because I need to make enough money on the video to, you know, kind of convince myself that it is worth paying for these. Any hoozles. This is just another example of the United States, like people in conservative America kind of overinflating the power span and universal nature of their belief systems. And like I said, it's just so strange to me that when you look up the Hershey's thing, it's a Canadian campaign. And like I said, as someone in Canada, I was able to get them. And it says literally Hershey's Canada, Mississauga, Ontario, Canada on them. Unless there is a version of the United States. When I was looking at the articles, it said Hershey's Canada, so that's what this is. I even found it and everything. It's just a cookies and cream bar. I've had them before. We go into part 2 though. We'll look a bit deeper into the actual reasoning. Hershey's have released some sort of kind of pronoun chocolates in the last year to kind of like a corporate plea to like the more left-leaning consumers. Conservatives to some extent had the right idea to point out that it was just corporations trying to get money from any sort of like social justice movement that they can. But the issue is that their plan to face that is to fight capitalism with more capitalism instead of acknowledging that the issue itself is the way that they're just trying to buy your moral values. Not to mention that their intention is to crush a multi-billion-dollar industry. Like we're talking $48.64 billion with their corporation Daily Wire being worth just over $100 million. So, you know, you're saying you're going to crush and destroy these people like some sort of noble cause when you're worth. And I'm only saying this because all they're doing is another capitalistic endeavor, right? But Hershey's is worth 484 times what they're worth. So maybe that's why they're selling the chocolates for like $6 plus a piece when this was US. So that's like $7.50 Canadian and this was $2.89, I think, something like that. Hershey's released a limited edition line of chocolates for Women's Day that featured 5 activists that represent positive actions for women. And one of those people featured in the ads was a trans woman and activist. So not even all the chocolates, because this one is Autumn Peltier, who is an indigenous woman. And she is cis. And yeah, a cis woman on this chocolate. So according to their own, you know, nature, they're, you know, this is in itself knows what a woman is. So it doesn't even work. So one of them was a trans woman and activist. Chocolates were for this campaign, which is the Her for She campaign, which as it says here, that's what it is. And it featured different labels and designs. And the trans woman one was named Faye Johnstone, right, as mentioned when I was reading the articles and things like that. So interestingly enough, it appears to be a Canadian thing, as I mentioned. even though their whole hate storm is based on American values and conservatism. And they are up in arms about a chocolate that they will literally never be able to access. What is more self-imposed frustration than conservatives getting mad about something they can't even purchase? Even if it was like Canadian conservatives getting mad about it, I just think it'd be so funny because that would be the same group of people that think a 15-minute city means that a city will be divided into Hunger Games-esque sections that you cannot leave within 15 minutes of where you live, as opposed to a 15-minute city meaning that a grocery store, public transportation, and some, I think, medical services or something like that are all within 15 minutes of you. That's what that's supposed to mean. But they take it as this big, like, victim complex of the government trying to fight them because they're so self-involved that they can't even try to attempt to comprehend the actual world around them. So as a comeback to the chocolates, Jeremy Boring with Daily Wire made the Jeremy's chocolate, the same guy who made Jeremy's razors, again being pissed mad that the company dropped them for being misogynistic, transphobic, racist, and amongst a bunch of other things, and also just being annoying and a bunch of little shitheads that whine about everything and freak out all the time and are always super angry. Like, I think that just the attitudes alone would make me not want to do a brand deal with them, but alas, anyways. So they have the, they have contrasting values with the other companies, yada, whatever. So they have the she, her, and he, him chocolates, which, ooh, he, him has the nut. Which is not only painfully unfunny, but also not creative at all. Because Mr. Beast just did that with the D's Nuts bar. So it's almost like they're kind of riding on the coattails of Mr. Beast's, like, what are they called, Feastables or whatever? On top of that, which I just think is so funny. Like, not only are they lazy grifters, but they're also painfully unoriginal, which I think is really awesome. And I think my favorite thing is I can't help but imagine some conservative dude buying the chocolates, but he has like a peanut allergy and being emasculated by chocolate because he has to eat the she, her part. Because that's the other thing. It's a bad campaign in itself because you cannot buy just the she, her chocolates or just the he, him chocolates. So like if you're allergic to peanuts or something, you can't have these. Which, like, it sounds like, oh, well, Miki, you're kind of picky and kidding. A lot of people are allergic to peanuts. It's, like, the most common allergy. So to have, like, you have to buy the bar with nuts, I just think is so hilarious on top of, like, everything else. What's also bizarre is they're the same amount of calories, but one of them has nuts, which it doesn't make sense. Also, they're all fair trade, which is, like, a really, like, Democrat thing to be looking for. But I guess it's because then they can say, ooh, none of it's from China, or whatever they do. Fair trade is a good thing, by the way. I'm just like, it also just doesn't make sense how they're the same amount of calories. Of course, they're kosher. That makes sense because of Ben Shapipo. I'm just kind of confused how they're made now. Like, legitimately. So, final part 3, we're just going to reflect on this a little bit with the conservative fallacy. Because one of the bases of classical liberalism, which is not to be mixed up with liberals or liberalism now, is that freedom is able to be expressed through the free market of capitalism. And this is an idea of that the majority, if not all, modern conservatives have their foundation on. The issue with that is it's not true freedom to have everything be based in the free market. Because that is making freedom constrained under the choices of the masses, buying property, buying rights. And when you have so many loopholes for like taxes and corporations, that's not even true in the first place. It's a few that got in early and have generational wealth and generational success that they're able to compound into their businesses that face the majority of the success from big business. And I think it's interesting because under their own logic, way more people buy Hershey's bars than pre-ordering chocolate that has nuts or no nuts in it. So by their own definition, they are falling short to Hershey's. Unless they're on the come up, but I don't think anybody's really looking at the Daily Wire and being like, oh, look at all those Robin Hood-esque people. They feel like they're so noble and their heads are so far up their ass. Like, I feel like it's just like a huffing chamber of Ben Shapiro's farts that has kind of constructed this whole reality. And I feel like there's no true freedom when you're just regurgitating what the exact lines that Ben Shapiro said that morning are, if that makes sense. Like, I just feel like they're not seeing anything of these things critically, and it's always listen to me and I am right, as opposed to I would like you to think about this for yourself, kind of put the pieces together and maybe see where you're feeling here's the two sides that exist. Instead, it is one side hates you and the other side loves you, and the side that loves you wants you to buy these chocolates and do this grift, which in and of itself, I think, isn't inherently helpful. And I think that trying to do this big gotcha moment with these chocolates is comical and pathetic. And I think I'm just going to keep eating my silly little Hershey's bars with my trans women on them that are women, not men that are trying to cosplay as girls or whatever thing is being said, you know? They probably still have less lip filler, though, than Benja people hypothetically, allegedly in Minecraft. So I think that's all I have to say on that. We're going to conclude the video here. And yeah, please don't, I would really recommend not buying the weird chocolate. I also got rid of Daily Wire's ability to have ad space on my YouTube channel, so you won't be seeing those ads anymore. And yeah, please join the membership if you want to. Hopefully it gets approved. It's still in the process right now. And I hope you all have a great day. Links, sources, Amazon, Patreon, ways to support the channel, all that kind of stuff linked down below, including an email to suggest longer form content. And I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye!
I'm Sonic the Hedgehog, and I think the working class seizing the means of production would be way past cool.